DC News Now, rewriting the record. Why some artifacts from the National Museum of African-American History are being returned.
Black history is also American history.
I'm concerned about what might not be here in a few months.
A pastor accusing the Trump administration of whitewashing our memories.
Maryland's last Radio Shack going silent. An emotional goodbye for store employees after 4 decades of business.
Hey everybody, still tracking rain for tonight, extending into your Saturday. Daytime highs well above average. More on that coming up.
A Northeast DC charter school is preparing to shut down.
I'm hurt behind it, man. Then I gotta find a place to put them back in school.
It's leaving parents scrambling for the fall.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for DC News Now at 9. I'm Susan Tran.
And I'm Ben Dennis. Chris Flanagan has the night off. Right over to your forecast. 9 o'clock on the dot. Happy Friday, everybody. Not a bad day, I will say, but I think Janessa's forecasting a inclement, if you will, Saturday.
It was not bad when we looked at the Capitol and Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb. It's a split weekend, which is good.
Yeah, we're just seeing a little bit of rain right now, but we're going to continue to watch the rain tomorrow, and then we have changes going into your late weekend. At this point, really not bad. It just depends on location, where you are across the DMV, because here's the storm system as a whole. The center out towards Kentucky continues to spin, and so that front edge is providing rain. Central Montgomery County seeing the highest impacts right now in Hagerstown, parts of Luray, across Highway 81, and so that's where we're seeing kind of the worst of this situation. Most of DC, Prince George's County, we remain on the dry side. Some pockets of moderate to torrential rain for Luray. Temperatures, they're the big talker, right? Where you have humidity levels that are up across the region, and it is allowing for a few rumbles of thunder throughout the midnight hour, and then we'll get a lull in this weather pattern. I do have more storms in your forecast for Saturday. We'll look at the timing coming up.
Janessa, thank you. Some startling news now. We're learning some artifacts as well as exhibits. They're being removed from the National Museum of African-American History and Culture.
And this comes just a month after President Trump's executive order to remove what he calls improper ideology from Smithsonian museums.
DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg joining us live there at the museum. And Daniel, some of these items, they're headed back to a pastor. What is he telling you about having them returned?
Susan and Ben, he says he has had a Bible and a history book here at the museum since 2016. The removal of these items, he says, is wrong and should be a wake-up call to others. Tourists travel from across the country to see the National Museum of African-American History and Culture. From Suffolk, Virginia,
Black history is also American history,
to Atlanta, Georgia.
I wanted to make sure that I got to go through the exhibit and see the things that my parents and other people sacrificed.
But some of the objects in the museum are being removed.
I'm concerned about what might not be here in a few months.
Civil rights activist and San Francisco pastor Dr. Amos Brown got an email this month that his artifacts were being returned. The Smithsonian told him,
"Your books are delicate. They know how to preserve things." I did not get an email saying, "We are temporarily sending back for repair."
Since 2016, the museum has had his Bible used when he went on demonstrations with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Jesse Jackson. They also had his copy of History of the Negro Race, 1618 to 1880, the first comprehensive history of African Americans from slavery through Reconstruction.
It is an assault on black folks' humanity, their ethnic and cultural identity, and is downright inhumane.
According to Black Press USA, the museum's 1960 Woolworth's lunch counter sit-in exhibit is also being dismantled.
It's erasing or trying to hide the past of black history, and I think it shouldn't be hidden or erased. I think it needs to be highlighted.
Now, Brown says he is expecting to get his items back in the mail either next Thursday or Friday. We reached out multiple times to the Smithsonian for comment, and they have not gotten back to us. We're live in Northwest. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
Daniel, thank you. We are following more developing news right now. World Pride organizers say that the Kennedy Center has canceled a full week worth of events in June.
That's right. Several artists and producers involved with the Tapestry of Pride schedule said that their events were quietly canceled or moved to other venues.
That's right, and there have been these massive changes that happened at the Kennedy Center since President Trump replaced most of the board with loyalists and made himself the new chair.
Now, the Kennedy Center did not respond to a request for comment.
New tonight in Maryland, a student is facing charges for bringing a knife to a Charles County school. The sheriff saying that this morning, a staff member there at Thomas Stone High School saw the student with a knife and was able to take it from that student without incident. Officials say the student is now facing charges as well as school discipline. This is the third incident involving weapons on the campus in recent weeks. It was just last night that the Charles County superintendent sending a letter home to parents inviting them to a meeting for Monday to address all of these safety concerns.
Meantime, we're monitoring new details from Northern Virginia, where we're learning about the teachers who stepped in to break up a violent fight at an Alexandria high school. A 15-year-old has now been charged with stabbing a 16-year-old classmate. You might remember this happened to West Potomac High School on Wednesday. School leaders say Joe Petrocelli is a special ed teacher who also coaches the girls basketball team. They say he held down the teen suspect who had that knife until police arrived. Plus, Tracy Vasquez is a 27-year veteran teacher, reportedly worked to calm the teen down and convince him to let go of the knife. In a statement, the teachers write, "While this week has undoubtedly been the hardest we have faced in our combined almost 4 decades as educators, we want to make it clear that this terrible act of violence should never be what defines our incredible school or community."
It was a scramble for so many parents in Northeast D.C. They just learned that they had to find a whole new school for their children in the fall.
That's right. It's quite a predicament. The board at Hope Community Charter School voting just last night to close in June. Randy Bass has more on what led up to the sudden shutdown.
Staff and parents we talked to here say they blame mismanagement and poor leadership for the sudden closure of Hope Community Public Charter School here in Northeast. But the board last night, they said the decision to close was not an easy one.
I'm hurt behind it, man. Then I got to find a place to put them back in school and find somewhere close by.
Just under 200 students in pre-K through 8th grade attend school here at Hope Community Public Charter School in Northeast, including Albert Jones kindergartners, AJ and PJ, who say they feel safe here.
This school is nice. This school don't got no shooting, and this school don't got no violence. I would think this is a good neighborhood.
Families were given letters Friday letting them know about plans to close the school, and Jones says he needs to find another safe space to send his boys to school.
I got to try to find out what I'm going to do.
Thursday night, the school's board officially voted to shut the school's doors at the end of the academic year this June.
It has not been easy by any means. The gravity of the decisions before us and the impact they carry for students, families, and our staff is something we have not taken lightly.
Board Chair Carrie Smith cited a number of reasons for the closure during Thursday night's meeting, including a poor outlook on enrollment and future test scores, with the school not likely to meet academic benchmarks needed in order to stay open. Students we talked to say they had a good learning experience inside the school's blue and green walls.
I was surprised because this school had been here for so many years. And it was a nice school. Everybody grew up and go to college because of this school.
In that letter sent home to families today, they were urged to prepare for an enrollment fair here at the school next week to help families find new schools for their students for next year. That is set for next Tuesday. In Northeast, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
All right, Randy, thank you. From D.C., we head over to Northern Virginia. There was a shootout in the middle of the afternoon, bullets hitting a home and car and hurting a person in Woodbridge. It started with an argument on Enterprise Lane yesterday. Prince William County police saying that the two were in a car. One person got out and they started shooting at each other. A person at home was cut by debris. Investigators say both suspects took off and they're still searching for them.
Meantime, police in Western Maryland are conducting an investigation after a traffic stop led to a major drug bust. Frederick County Sheriff's Office says Xerxes Belvin is facing multiple charges. Deputies say he was pulled over on Route 15 near I-70 for speeding there. They say that Belvin was trying to hide a large object wrapped in tape under the driver's seat. Deputies found nearly 2 pounds of what they think is heroin, more than 1 pound of crack cocaine, and over $3,000 in cash.
It is an end of an era, my friends. The last Radio Shack in Maryland will close its doors tomorrow. The Calvert County store has been in business for 40 years. Photojournalist Ryan Sage caught up with some workers who say there was just no way of tinkering away the inevitable.
Well, I appreciate you.
Okay. Business has been in our family for a long time, and it actually started as a TV repair shop in the 50s, so it goes back longer than the Radio Shack part of it. But it seems like its time has come. It's been difficult in the last few years, especially after the pandemic. People are excited to come in and visit one last time. You know, they're sad to see it go also.
I don't want you to be waiting for me. Just let me know. I have worked here now for 34 years. I've enjoyed it. I've learned. I've experienced. Gonna miss it. This has been very experiencing. Waiting on customers, selling them their first computers, cell phones, learning about the internet. 424 even. I have met and talked to a lot of people who has helped me experience a lot and work with them. Thank you so much.
All right, time is 9:11. It is a weekend full of music in the DMV. We're helping you stretch your dollar with some free upcoming events. Get the pen and paper out. In D.C., music will take over a neighborhood and front lawns. The Petworth Porch Fest returns. Porch performers are moved to Sunday instead of tomorrow because of the rain. But main stage performances still happening tomorrow from 5 to 8 at the Rec Center. Jazz lovers in Maryland, get ready. Jazz in the Woods. That's tomorrow morning at the Merriweather Park in Columbia. Howard County Public School students will perform there. And in Virginia, you can participate in blackout poetry tomorrow in Arlington. What's that? Well, it's when you take recycled books and black out parts of the text to create your own poem. That's happening at the Westover Library.